last day in Shungnak, at least technically, is drawing to a close. It's 9:15 p.m. I've had a long day at work here trying to start the video, and I keep starting to cry. So I just decided to start the video anyway. So there's just a lot on my heart, a lot on my mind. Just thinking about what I've been able to accomplish since I've been here. How much I'm gonna miss this place. I may be back. I'm at least gonna be back to pick up my belongings. I don't know if I'm gonna be back next semester. There is just a lot up in the air, which is typical for my profession. If they don't have a position for me because they don't know where all the kids are going exactly, then they will just fly me here to get my stuff and fly me home. I may be transferred to another village. We'll see. I would love to be back in Alaska. I would love to be back here in Shungnak. I've been doing some thinking, and I think for me, I don't usually function well in big groups. Big cities I can function well in because nobody talks to you anyway. You don't know anybody. So it's hard to be part of a community, you know, when you're in a big city. And I've missed that. And I probably have never had that. So this is probably why I love this place so much. Because you do get that here. I don't come from a big family, you know. I'm not used to. It's probably my fault in some way. I'm sure it is. But I'm not used to. Look at my nose. I took all the makeup off and then decided to do the video. I was like, that was stupid. But I'm not used to having, okay, so the last 4 months has been like the same people over and over and over again. And you just get to know everybody. I don't know everybody in the village. There's over 300 people. I certainly don't know everybody. I probably know half. Not well, of course, but I know of them, at least half of them. And maybe more, because I know all the kids. There's almost 90 kids. So I just feel like, and there's always outliers, but I just feel like this is a nice, tight-knit community. It has its problems like any community has. But I just needed this experience because I needed to feel, and I didn't know if I was going to get this here, but I needed to feel embraced. I needed to feel secure and safe, and I needed to feel not pressured, not rushed. Usually I can figure out a way to cope when I'm under pressure and things are rushed. I don't like it, but I can figure it out. And I think it just started to get to me. And so I loved the slower pace here. You never know what's gonna happen here, that's for sure. Like, it's not, there's a place with a lot of variables, but once you learn the variables and kind of how they vary, then it's just like, oh yeah, okay, this again. You know, it's not like this new traumatic thing all the time. So I've drawn pretty close to a few people, and I think I've made at least a couple lifetime friends. I think more. So that's always nice and welcome. And I needed that too. So anyway, so I'm packing up. I don't have a lot to pack because I'm not bringing a lot out. But the maintenance guy, is going to be staying at the house. So I'm just making sure preparations are okay for him. We had a little snafu today. It's one of the problems of this climate. My chimney on top of my house started to break off because of the weight of the snow. You really should shovel your roof off. You know, at certain times. I didn't think of it. And so the weight of the snow was this chimney on the outside. It was metal and it was starting to. So everybody was at work, and it was about 11 o'clock, 11:30, and somebody was walking by. Here's how this all works. Somebody was walking by, happened to be Brandon's uncle, I think, or grandfather, and he noticed that, you know, this chimney was falling off of my house. I'm the last house on the end. I'm not a house that you go by very often, but he noticed and got back to, I think, Roger, the principal. I'm not really sure on that, but, you know, it got back to us within minutes. And that's just how it goes here. It's a small town, and what you hear about old-time small towns are true. And so we all rushed here, all meaning Brandon, Roger, and I came later. And they had to shovel off the roof, and it was dangerous. I got a couple pictures of that. I'll post it right now. And it's fine. So that was just a little bit of excitement. So the next excitement I have is I have my darling little puppy laying on the floor right now. And just for a reminder, those who maybe missed that video, it's Little Bear's brother. And he is the last one of his siblings. He had two. I know Bear was one. The first one I never saw. She probably, I would guess, because there was already two boys, but died early on. I don't know. It was July, so it wasn't the climate or anything. I don't know what happened there. So I'm getting him out of here, and I am so ecstatic about that. I feel like I have accomplished something good with this particular situation. He's a doll. He's a sweetheart. I loved his brother. And I wish I could have taken Bear out, but I do have this one, and he's going to a good friend of mine to Nashville, Tennessee. So he will first fly home with me to Phoenix as planned, and I will get him situated and get him on another plane to go to Nashville. So he's gonna have room to run. He's got a couple buddies, couple canine buddies waiting for him. And he's gonna have a great daddy, and a great auntie, I think. So, and he's gonna have cows to play with and all that. So I am just stoked to have done that. I'll be able to do that. I'm doing that. I haven't, you know, it's interesting that what I just said there, that I did that. It's already done in my mind. And maybe that's how my mind works, and why I seem to accomplish a lot, is because I decide it. I have the plan laid out. I have the vision, clear vision in my head of what I want. And it's kind of already done in my head. And now it's just, okay, now I just got to do the steps. I think that's how I think. And I think that gets me, it gets me farther than my intellect could. I don't know. So anyway, a little Freudian slip there. But it'll be interesting. He'll have a collar on tomorrow. He'll have a leash when he's out of the crate. And that was another issue. This is how things work out here. So I am being given a kennel from a neighboring town of a woman who helps the dogs. Stephanie's friend. Well, everybody knows her. She's the pet lady, I guess. And she gets crates and stuff donated to her because of the work that she does. I'm not exactly sure what work she does. I know she can give vaccines to pets. It's 150 miles away where she is, and she was going to be able to give me this crate so I could take this puppy back home with me. She said, okay, I got it. I gotta dig it out of the snow. So she had to pay somebody, or she did it herself. I'm not really sure. She said she was maybe pay somebody to dig it out of the snow. And it's not together. It's all collapsed. You know, it's folded, and must be a collapsible or something. But it's not assembled. And so anymore anyway. So she got it to the, she doesn't have a car. I don't know how old she is, but I talked to her on the phone and she's not my age. She's a lot older than me. She walked it down to the airport terminal on the other end of town, which I don't know how far that is. And she pulled it on a sled. That's what they do here. They have sleds, like the long, like, you know, not this long, but, you know, like really long sleds. And they pull them on the back of their, they call them snow machines, on the back of the snow machine. Or a 4x4. Sometimes you see a Honda 4x4. But so she walked it there yesterday. It was there by the afternoon. It was supposed to be on the 3 o'clock plane. The plane didn't stop here. It couldn't stop here. It had went right over. See ya. Weather or whatever. And so this morning it was supposed to be on, and they couldn't get it on this morning because of the weather. Again, they came here, but they needed to put extra gas in, fuel in, because of the weather, and they couldn't get all the freight on there. People come first, so these are very small planes, 10-seaters, with a little bit of room in the back and room underneath, and you know, they get the people on and their stuff, and then they get the extra freight as last. That's how it works. So if there's a little bit of weather and some of the planes don't come in, you know, that cuts your chances in 50%, let's say. And then there's even more freight on the other 50% of those planes in those few days that you got weather. And so you don't get your stuff. So I called and I said, look, here's the situation. Like, if I don't get the kennel tonight, I'm going to be holding the puppy on my lap because I'm not leaving him here. And so I called, so they said, yes, it's coming out, but it's just on a hold due to weather. So I called like at 6 o'clock. I hadn't heard. No, we can't fly tonight. I was like, okay, so you do remember my story, right? So I'm going to be on the 10:10 a.m. flight tomorrow. But if they bring it in the morning, I got to put it together. I can't put it together at the airport. It's like, there is no airport. It's just like a slab of, you know, concrete. That's the airport. So I said, what am I going to do? I called the terminal. It's a small little, cute little place. And she's just like, oh, I'll just put it together for you. I'm like, you will? Are you kidding me? So I got to bring her something nice tomorrow. So she's assembling this for me tonight. It's going to be on the plane in the morning, if the planes fly, if I can even get out, whatever. But I'll have the kennel whenever that first flight comes out. So that's the story there. So I'll put him in the kennel, and we are flying to this town that I got the kennel from, Kotzebue. Flying to Kotz, and we're going to stay there 2.5 hours. So I have a little bit of layover there with the puppy. I do have a leash. I got to get that out. I do have a leash, so we'll have a walk, I guess. And then we fly to Anchorage, and I get there at 4 p.m., and I have an 8-hour layover. And then we get home at like 10 a.m. So he'll sleep. Oh, I gotta get the blanket too. I gotta do stuff. We get to Anchorage, 8 hours, you know. I get all my luggage, I get the dog, and there I am in Anchorage for 8 hours with all this stuff. So I don't know what I'm gonna do. I do want to take him for a walk, so I think I'm gonna Uber over to a park or something. I might run an errand. I don't know. Yeah. So, and then I get home. We get on the plane at midnight. Yeah. And we get in at 10. Is that right? That's not right. We don't leave at midnight. I think we leave at midnight. But it's not a 9-hour. Oh, Seattle. That's right. I go to fly to Seattle first. And I have a little bit of layover. What do you do with the dog? Oh, God. I got to find this stuff out. I just know I get home at 10 a.m. So it's a 24-hour trip. Yay. But it's better than staying in a hotel with a dog. And when that's not housebroken. So that was kind of... I couldn't do that at all. I don't know what... I would have. But... it's not... would have not been my preferred, you know. Never would have done it on purpose, put it that way. So, this is a really long video. I'm going to show you the footage along the way. Because it should be hilarious.